Hello Capricorn, and welcome to the Green Woman Tarot. This is your reading for the next 2 weeks, which is from the 7th to the 21st of June 2021. And it's a general reading just to see what sort of energies are around you at this time, to see what's on the cards for you. But before we delve into the tarot reading, I need to consult the oracle. And this is the Mirror Oracle, which I'm using today to draw a couple of cards from, just to start your reading off with. So let's see, what words of wisdom does the mysterious oracle have for Capricorn for the 7th to the 21st of June 2021. What messages are here for Capricorn for the next 2 weeks? What does Capricorn need to know at this time? So let's see. Let's see what you get. Right, you've got peace and intuition. Well, so intuition here really points to having to be on your guard about something. You know, you may be in a situation where it's seemingly calm, but beneath the surface there's a sense of anticipation or perhaps apprehension, and you need to be alert, to use all your senses to pick up on clues and find you know, if you look at this is actually in a misty field, so things may not be terribly clear, but there's sort of the thorns here, the spider web sort of speaks of perhaps you may be sensing a bit of apprehension about it, and it sort of suggests that you follow your intuition on that. Be ready to take flight as the deer is there. So be wary. It's actually just really beautiful though, isn't it? And then you've got peace, which is about peace through unity, or unity through peace. So you know, they may sort of step one from the other. Perhaps what you're wanting is to quieten things down, to have some peace, and perhaps you need to extend an olive branch, but you need to be aware of hidden nuances around you. But through unity you may find peace, because there's 2 doves here. And if you look at the ribbon, you know, don't think of that as dividing them so much as pulling them together. And there's, if you look carefully, I don't know if it picks it up on the camera, but the ribbon forms the shape of a little heart there as it flows. So I think it sort of suggests that you may have to be a little bit wary, treading carefully through a bit of an uncertain time in order to find that perhaps it's very relationship based for many of you, but you know, treading carefully, being aware, using your intuition and your senses, being open to synchronicities and signs, because through that you'll be able to unite through peace, or bring about peace, and sort of reconciliation speaks here as well. Sort of perhaps, you know, there may be a need for bearing an olive branch. But there you have 2 interesting cards there, peace and intuition. But let's see where the rest of the reading takes us. So let's see what's on the cards for Capricorn for the 7th to the 21st of June 2021. What messages are here for Capricorn for the next couple of weeks? What does Capricorn need to know at this time? And this is the lovely Oak, Ash and Thorn Tarot, which I'm using today to draw an 8-card spread for you, with the first 2 cards depicting you in your situation now, where you are. And then the next 2 cards highlight the challenges you may be facing at this time. And the following 2 cards offering you some guidance from Spirit as you move towards the final 2 cards that may reveal your possible outcome to this period in time. So let's see what you get. Starting off with the 6 of Swords, lovely time of transition, and the Queen of Pentacles. A journey. Right, and then you've got the 5 of Swords and the 8 of Swords as your challenges. Then you have the 9 of Swords and the World as your guidance cards. And your outcome shows the 2 of Swords and the 7 of Pentacles. And you have, at the bottom of the deck, the 5 of Cups. So it shows quite a time, perhaps not so much turbulence, but maybe a difficult time ahead of you, in as much as trying to maintain the peace and the serenity in a difficult circumstance. Now, the 6 of Swords, as I say, is it's sort of a transitional stage. It sort of marks, here you have the parent and the baby, sort of, she's going to aid him in his first flight. It's this speaks of that first flight, and it sort of brings about some sense of fear, or that's being intrepid, where you've got to face something. So there's a need to move forward with something, but it sort of has that promise of guidance, of assisted movement. And the Queen of Pentacles now, together, that sort of makes me think of, when you think of the Queen of Pentacles, she is the mother figure here. She's got her little baby rabbits. Oh, they're so cute. Anyway, so, so perhaps I get a sense when I look at all your cards together today, I get a sense that there's a lot of looking after people, a lot of nurturing, a lot of keeping the peace. Now, whether it's you aiding someone moving forward, or whether you need the assistance in moving forward, it's about knowing you've got to move forward, but wanting to keep it safe and secure for everyone, and the strain that puts on you. Because, I think you're moving forward, moving away from, you realize in order to find that stability and security and sense of growth and happiness, abundance, comfort, to be in a comfortable, safe environment, you need to move out of something that is unfair, that is imbalanced. The 5 of Swords here in your challenge row sort of depicts that that imbalance of power and the difficulties that presents for those who are the weaker members of that team or of that environment. So it sort of shows, your challenge is to find a way out of a situation that you may feel trapped in which you feel taken advantage of. You feel defeated almost, and the challenge being to sort of realize that although you feel trapped, there is actually a way out, and the challenge is to see that way out. And while you're not, things aren't clear, while you're not able to see, even in your oracle card, it's all misty. While you're not able to see, you won't notice, you won't perceive a way out, but there is a way out, and that's the challenge, is to find a way out, to free yourself from a situation that is unfair, that is toxic perhaps, or detrimental to your sense of security and growth. And there's you've got here the Five of Cups again, which is about needing to see what is good, needing to see what you are able to still use, what is still whole and nourishing. If you look at the picture here, there are 3 acorns which represent the cups. 3 cups are broken, have spilt, and there is that sense of loss and sorrow. And it's fine to mourn that loss, but at the same time, you need to be able to turn around at one point and realize that there's still something worth going for, still something that can bring you joy and contentment. And your guidance card here is, don't overthink this. The Nine of Swords is about how we can do our own heads in, overthinking things, overanalyzing things, and that tension that we bring with us wherever we go, and sort of prevents us from getting rest. It sort of suggests that maybe there may be an element of overthinking. You just need to take that leap, rather than spend all your energy and effort going round and round in your own head about what's fair and what's unfair, and how difficult it is, and whether there is a way out, and what are the odds and ends of it. Perhaps all you need to do is break free. All you need to do is find that gap and go for it. And the peace card sort of comes in here as well, because when you feel unfairly treated, you can go into victim mode, and the way out of that is that release of that sense of bitterness and upset. That sort of does require some degree of an olive branch of peace, of laying down your arms and refusing to battle this anymore. So it may require some degree of accepting people for who they are, accepting a situation for what it is. It is what it is. That release that you get when you accept the way things are, and realizing that can't change, but what can change is you. You can leave it. You can extricate yourself from it, rather than continue to battle in your own head about the injustice of it. And if you're able to do that, it sort of shows you stepping through into a new phase, gaining that sense of freedom when you just throw off that sense of victimization and unfairness, when you accept it for what it is and turn away from it, and find your wings to fly away from it. That sort of shows that's depicted in the World card, that sense of stepping into a new phase, seeing things in a new light, and that sense of triumph and accomplishment you get from that. But it warns that, so long as you stay sitting in this moment of impasse, you're not going to go forward. Just like the Eight of Swords, the Two of Swords has her eyes blindfolded because she's not seeing, or is unable to see a clear way forward. But the suggestion is in the Two of Swords that you tap into your own intuition, what you know is right. Deep in, allow that intuitive knowledge to guide you out. And it sort of shows that there is a need to make a decision, to draw a line and to move on. It is, although the word release in itself hasn't come up, but there's a need, a release, an acceptance of what is unfair, and then being able to simply walk away from it, or as in these cases, fly away from it. You've got a lot of birds in your spread. And there you have intuition as well. You know, there's unsavory things in your environment that you may be blocking out, but you need to read those signs, see those flags, those red flags, those warning signs, and act upon them. And as much as not trying to find justification or fairness, in simply transitioning from it, moving away from it. And thereafter, you know, it sort of brings you to, as I say, you need to face that moment of impulse, make that decision, and release yourself from what could be a toxic environment. Or even if it's just, you know, it even be like heavy like that, but it could just simply be something that doesn't sit well with you, and maybe you need to move on. And then if you're able to do that, it shows that you'll realize that here, with being the nurturer in a situation, being the nurturer in a situation, you've already laid down firm, solid roots, and you've unwittingly, you know, what you may not realize, that you've created a lot of potential for growth and stability. You'll find that you've already have begun a move towards finding stability and security and that warmth. These are your two warm cards in your deck, as well as that one actually, yeah. So I mean in your spread, yeah. So it shows to me, it shows that you'll realize you have to be patient and sort of wait a bit, but you'll realize that you've already got the initial stages of renewed growth already, and already sort of blossoming, if you will. They won't be ready to pick, but you know, there's a period of rest, of being able to just let things be and find that sense of peace as around you, a sense of stability and security and comfort begins to well up. So there you have it, Capricorn. It's a bit of a journey for you this 2-week period, in finding, when, you know, assessing a way out of a situation that is not comfortable for you, and using your intuition to read the writing on the wall, and it sort of culminates in needing to make an important decision that has to be made in order for you to move on. But you will be able to, you have the potential here to move on to rest, peace and security. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed your reading and that it resonates with you. And if so, please remember to hit the like, share and subscribe buttons, and then have a good 2 weeks, and God bless you till we meet again.